All right. So we rolling? Let me know when you're ready, Joss. Oh man, I feel like this game is great. Sturdy?
Sturdy.
All right, bet. 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sway reporting live, one-on-one sit-downs. We are back with another one. I hope you enjoyed the Shake Hoops episode last time and the Dave joint one last time too. We're going to keep it rolling. Summer is here. More meaningful people will be on the pod, more meaningful things, more meaningful stories. And this person in front of me today has put on for New York City for a while now. Some people know him, some people don't. He's probably trained your favorite street ball hooper, high school hooper, and overseas pro hooper, maybe even NBA hooper. At this point, you should know this person's name. His name is Justin Bright, CEO of Humble Development.
What's going on?
How are you, sir? How you feeling?
I'm blessed.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for gracing my platform with your presence. I do not take this lightly. And hopefully the people can know something about you that they didn't know, and hopefully your story is put out there more by the end of this podcast, right?
No, I appreciate the opportunity, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So we could go straight into it, but I'd like to, give some backstory. But first, before I get into the backstory, just introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and just in case they didn't know.
Well, like you said in introduction, my name is Justin Bright. I'm a Crown Heights breed from Brooklyn. Grew up in the grit heart of New York City, playing basketball, and just actually living through that as well, because, on and off the court, two different aspects, dynamics. But, I created a brand about 10 years ago, and now we're here today.
Yes, sir. Now we are here today. It's a beautiful thing when you have a plan or a mindset or a dream or a vision, and you can see it slowly but surely come to fruition. But we got to see how we got to Humble Development and the man that I'm looking at right now. So first, you said Crown Heights, born and raised. So the first I want to get into is clearly you're a hooper at heart, and that has to come from somewhere. So where did we start? Who put the ball in your hands? Can you remember when you first started appreciating and loving the game of basketball and putting the basketball in your hands?
I would say I was a late bloomer. I didn't really know about AAU basketball and all that stuff like that. Like, I literally probably started playing ball seriously 12 years old. I went to St. John's Recreation Center. I was 12 years old, and that's when I was kind of introduced into it. I had somewhat ability from it, just by dribbling around after school, because I used to play with kids in my school in middle school, but it wasn't no big thing, right? And then when I went to St. John's Rec, I ran into a couple players that were doing it at a high level that I wasn't used to, and I looked at them like, oh, wow.
That was your shock.
Yeah, that's why I need to be doing that. I need to be good like him. He's on this team. He plays in this league. I started interacting with those type of people. But, I was kind of in my own world in middle school. Where I was the best player in my school. I was big for my age. I was fast.
The height,
Yeah. So just growing up in middle school in Brooklyn, we played multiple sports. We played stickball. We played manhunt. We played. It's a game called Kill the Man, where you throw the ball off the gate.
Yeah.
Got to get it, run through 1,000 people. Just those things. Growing up like that, you gain these natural abilities to perform in sports. We having fun. We don't really know that we're working on our agility. We're just playing as children. But when I was able to go to St. John's, I wasn't that far off, but I knew that I was off. You know what I mean? In terms of the knowledge and stuff like that.
Okay, so when you say you were off, so how did you start to learn the game of basketball instead of just playing with your athleticism?
I started joining leagues. I joined little church leagues, stuff like that. Still wasn't at a high level. It's probably would be considered a CYO level. I was playing, but it was competitive though, because we had dudes from the 90s, we had dudes from Best-Stuy, it was kids from all over coming to play in the church league. I started there. Then I branched off and started playing in different church leagues. I used to go to MS61 on Friday nights. That used to be the highlight. Yeah, that used to be the spot. Like, it was the highlight. It was a lot of us in there going at it. Like, a lot of big-name Brooklyn kids. And those kids were also advanced in terms of playing in different leagues. So when I got there, they put me on. Like, yo, just could go. Yo, just come play with us in this tournament and stuff like that. So a lot of those guys from that Wingate area, Tyreek and Malik.
Wingate,
Yeah, it's a bunch of names. Bugs, my boy Booger. There was a lot of us. I ain't gonna lie. We used to come every Friday faithfully. Every Friday night. We used to be there from like 6 to 8 or something like that. I'm not too quite sure on the time frame. But we used to just be in there hooping, bro. It was like just hooping. And then I was everywhere hooping. I was in Lincoln Terrace Park hooping. I was there on Fridays. I go to St. John's Park, hoop.
Before they redid Lincoln Terrace Park.
Right.
It looked nice now. Before, word. Yeah. It wasn't too camera worthy. Let's go with that.
Right.
So high school. Where'd you go to high school, and were you on the team? How was that process for you?
First I went to high school, Maxwell High School first.
Okay. In the East?
In the East, yup.
Word.
I had no clue. I don't know what the hell I was doing there, but I went there. I was inspired by a kid on my block. His name was Wes, and we used to play ball and work out together all the time. And he went to, I'm with him every day, so he went to Maxwell. I'm like, yo, I'm coming here. I didn't know about the right school to go to, or like I said, I wasn't introduced to a lot of things. I was kind of like winging it. And I didn't have the guidance,
What could you give us the year time frame you was going into the high school scene at this point, if you can remember?
I got into high school 2001. Yeah, 2001, because I graduated 05. So 2001, got into high school freshman year. What a time, 9/11, all that stuff. I've seen it happen from my classroom window. And at Maxwell, you can look through the window and see it.
I ain't gonna lie, you're gonna have to tell us a story on that. I know that might be a little bit of a pivot, but please tell us how.
I mean, quickly, I could do a quick rough draft.
How old were you when that
I was basically 14. It was crazy. Everybody was shocked. Like, you walk through the hallways, they had the TV monitors in the hallway, and everybody was just watching on the news.
Yeah, I was
and
only
like
5.
We didn't know. We knew something happened, but we didn't know the depth of it. Right? We just thought something blew up or something like that because we saw the smoke from the building, from the window.
Yeah.
But then later on, when I got home, you hear more and more about it. My mom was like, she had to walk home from Manhattan, you know what I mean? Because it was
all the
everything was shut. Yeah,
yep.
So it was just crazy. It was a crazy experience and a shocker to the whole city.
The whole world almost.
Yeah.
So you went from Maxwell to where?
So I went from Maxwell to Park West. Being in Maxwell, terrible student, didn't really go to class, was really focused on playing ball. Typical Brooklyn kid. And then summer of my freshman year, that summer, I ran into Tippy.
Shout out Coach
Tippy.
Yeah,
Tippy.
Man.
I ran into him at Kingston Park. This when Kingston Park was crazy, like the Unlimited. Now at this point, my freshman year went by. I'm getting to know more things, so I got my bike and I'm, riding around different parks. So I used to go to Lincoln Terrace Park, Broward Park, just going to these different parks and playing ball. And I was at Kingston Park, and there was somebody who knew of me from playing at MS 61 and stuff. And they was like, yo, you should meet this guy named Tippy. And then Tippy met me, and Tippy was like, oh, you want to play? Just be in the gym starting Monday. And I'm like, all right, bet.
And he's serious about that, too.
So I used to come. After that, it was Murder, She Wrote. Tippy, worked on my game. That's my first time ever getting some sort of training. You know what I mean? Tippy, he wasn't the best trainer in the world, but he had these structure and dynamics in his workouts that was very that I needed in terms of learning how to use my triple threat, working on that elbow jump shot, elevating on my jump shot. We used to start every day with the 3-man weaves with a heavy ball, and also the atmosphere of the gym was crazy because Quincy Doobie was in the gym, Jerome Richardson was in the gym, Jarrell Blasingame was in the gym. It was like big name guys was in the gym, and it was crazy. And I was the youngest. Me and my boy Antler Singh, we was the youngest too. I wasn't oblivious because I grew up in the hood playing with older guys. So going to Lincoln Terrace Park, I didn't play with kids my age.
Got you.
You feel me? Like, I was raw, but I was good enough So I used to play with older guys all the time. That's just how you grew up back in the days. It wasn't all about playing with kids your age or stuff like that. Like, you on a hoop, you going to go hoop who's in the park. And most of the time back then, there was some grown guys in the park playing ball. That was the thing to do.
So,
you know what I mean?
When it came to Coach Tippy, though, because you're not the first person to tell me about Coach Tippy being an influence in your life in the basketball scene, some way, somehow, giving you an opportunity, giving you a workout, something like that. So, how did Coach Tippy help you become a basketball player, but then also the other side of things where now you're looking back like, damn, I see what Coach Tippy was doing, and I'm kind of doing almost the same type of thing?
Yeah, just to answer your previous question, so by being in Tippy's gym, I got an opportunity to go to Park West High School. The Park West coach, Tippy used to have a bunch of coaches in the gym.
Yes, sir.
You know, so the Park West coach knew these two twin brothers, Robert and Richie. They live in Harlem, and they was like, you know, kind of like scouts for coaches that they had a connection with, and they used to come watch me work out all the time. And rest in peace, Rodney Parker, who was I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, I know the name.
Rodney Parker was a big name in basketball. He was I think he was really close with Smush Parker. He was really close with Lenny Wilkins. And Rodney kind of like met me through Tip, and he like fell in love with me, had me under his wing and stuff like that, tried to teach me about the business. But I was still so young and naive, I didn't really know much in depth. And then the twins introduced me to the head coach of Park West, and his name is Coach White, Abraham White, and he got me in Park West, like this, you know, with my bad grades. He took a chance on me, and he laid the rules out. Like, listen, you're gonna be on academic probation. You're gonna get your grades right. You're gonna play this and third. Hopefully, get you in college, stuff like that. So that was the starting point of my career. And being with Tip, he also created a 16U team, just like for me. You know what I mean? He surrounded players. Well, me and Antler Sane, because we were the two youngest players. So he kind of like created a team for us, and he put us in tournaments and stuff like that. He coached us. He trained us. So, so looking back and reflecting on what Tippy's has done and what I'm doing, I'm definitely doing what he has done and what he is doing. But I'm just doing it at a larger scale. You know what I mean? Because I have more information and creativity than Tip, right? Because Tip didn't. I don't know if he played. I know he always shoots around and stuff, but I don't know if he actually played at a high level. But he's always been around. Yeah, he always been around high level players, and he knows what it's like. Like he's seen the Stephon Marbury's. He's seen the Sebastian Telfair's because he was affiliated with Brooklyn, USA. So he knows what it looks like to do the work. But I kind of have like I've been through the trenches more so and I can like relate to the kids more, and I know what's in and what's out, you know. So I'm kind of like a new school, old school type of trainer. I have the old school principles with a new school feel, where the kids kind of gravitate to me more, and it's like more fun, but harsh, but blunt, but like it's just real, you know what I mean? So I pride myself on being that way. So definitely can see what Tippy has done. I am definitely doing what he has done, but just on a larger scale.
So as we just move the conversation forward, high school to college, at some point you go to California for college, correct?
Yeah, but first I went to Oklahoma.
Okay, all right. Talk to me how we got to Oklahoma. Talk about this college journey, because I know once we leave in New York City, it's a little bit of an adjustment period, trying to find yourself and work out the things, the kinks, the schooling, the basketball, the workouts, the difference in lifestyle. So talk about that and how hard or easy that may have been for you.
I won't say it was hard. I kind of was mentally prepared before I went to college, in terms of like just growing up in Brooklyn, man. I just, you know, take my hat off to the culture. It raised me. 17 years old. So playing with Tippy, first of all, I got introduced to playing Unlimited. My first Unlimited game, me and Smush Parker in the backcourt. I was 16 years old.
Yo, nah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, literally, and he was in the league.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next little follow-up question.
So I was starting and everything. Like that's what I'm saying. Like Tippy really put me in position to gain experience. You know what I mean? So I played with them, and then Tip had the 16U team for me as well. And then growing up in Brooklyn, playing at Dunker's Delight at 17, 18 years old,
I
unlimited.
know where that is.
You know what I'm saying?
Delight was the height of Brooklyn.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So we won a championship. We was the youngest team to ever win a championship in Dunker's Delight. It was me, Big Baby, Happy Feet, Wayne Turner,
That's crazy.
Tyreek. I think B Black was on our team. B Black played with us 1 year, but then he left. He's from that side, so he joined the home team. But I feel like he played with us the year we won. But yeah, so just growing up playing unlimited at a young age and playing with older people my whole high school career. Once the high school season's over, I'm back at St. John's Rec, and I'm playing against grown men. It's from 6 to 10 p.m. Almost every day. You feel me? I'm the youngest, like one of the youngest guys in the gym playing with them. So I feel like that prepped me, you know what I mean? And also working out with Tip, always being the youngest kid in the gym. He had junior college All-Americans in the gym. You know, they're not taking it easy on me. They talking shit. They cursing me out.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So I feel like that mentally prepared me. So when I went to college, I wasn't like scared or nervous or like thinking like, oh, I don't know what to expect. I kind of like walked in with confidence and was like, let's see how this shit go. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much how I approached it. I never looked at it like, oh, this experience, I can't handle it. Nah. And then also before college, I lived with Ron Artest for like 6 months.
See, that's how I know we tapped in right now, because I was gonna get there.
Yeah.
Trust me, I was gonna get there. But since you brought it up, living with an NBA name star.
Yeah, at that time he was a big star.
Yeah, he was a big star at the time. So how did that even come about? From what I learned, that was like what, 6 months? 9 months?
Yeah, I lived with him like 6 months.
Yeah. So how did that even happen, and what tips did you potentially get from him in the basketball sense or in the life sense?
Like I said, hats off to New York City, Brooklyn. It's not the same no more, but there was a lot of guys around this industry that did things out of the kidness of their heart, you know, of the love. Like Tippy, there was another guy that I met by playing in Dunker's Delight. So we played against this team called Money Inc. And they had this guy named Show. He was a real good basketball player. He played high level, but you know, after you retire, you come back in the neighborhood and you know it's competitive and you play unlimited tournaments. That was the thing to do. It was very, very good. And I played against them and I had like 30. At 18 years old, I had like 30, right? And this guy was coaching them named Kev Jackson. And after I played, he approached me. He was like, "Yo, how old are you?" This and that, you know, just asking me questions.
When they ask that age, that's how
right.
you
What school you going to? This and third. And I was like, "Yo, I'm actually graduating this year. You know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Tippy, I got Tippy that's helping me and stuff like that." And he's like, "All right, cool. So I'm gonna work out with you." So I started working out with Kev. Kev was a different animal in terms of training. It wasn't like training with Tippy. It was way more intense. Like way more intense. Okay. And I had to go anywhere possible to meet. We didn't have a gym, so I was training with him in the park. I'd be in St. John's Park. I'd be in St. John's Rec in the building. I'd go to Queensbridge Projects, train with him in the projects. Like wherever we could get it, wherever we could get it in, we get it in. And I just started getting really, really good working with Kev, but then he left to go train Ron Artest's little brother because they offer the same projects. So,
loyalty. Yeah.
So I'm talking to Kevin like, yo, we just started. This is fucked up. Like, you know,
what's the
like,
word?
What's going on?
Yeah.
So I'm like, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna try to work something out. I'm gonna call you back. Literally, bro, Daniel Artest, Ron Artest's little brother, he called me and said, pack your stuff, you leave tomorrow. I swear to God, I'm not even making it up.
Yo, these are the opportunities, man.
I'm not even making it up. I ran in the room, told my mom. Stories. My mom was like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's an NBA player. Ron says, look, this is him.
Look at him.
Yeah, like, this is some real shit. I'm going to let you talk to them. My mom was like, all right, cool. You could go. You know, it's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So, Kev is the reason why I went. You know, Kev utilized me. Although he gave me the experience, he also was like, using me to train Danny because I was fast, strong, crafty. So when we worked out, we used to play like ones and shit after. You know what I mean? So he had to kind of contain me, keep me in front. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like a win-win for all three of us. It was three of us. So it was Danny, my boy Terrence Watkins. He's a all-city player. He went to Laughlin. I think he went to St. Peter's, if I'm not mistaken. But very solid player, very good. He was very good, and I met him when I went there. I didn't know nothing about him because he's older than me. Once again, I'm the youngest dude. I'm with Danny. I'm with Ron Artest. You know what I mean? So Ron, it was just a great experience. Ron was Ron. He was the coolest dude. He was he loved to share the knowledge. He instilled confidence in me. He taught me a lot. I go to the games. I'm at the Conseco Fieldhouse working out with Ron on the practice court. First time I ever seen Gatorade in a can. I never even knew that shit was in a can.
Wait,
swear to God, Gatorade in a can.
I don't even think I've seen that before.
We was in the locker room.
Oh,
you go in the locker room, look at the lockers. He gave us a
Yeah.
little tour, and they got the fridge full of beverages. You know how it is in the NBA shit. They got everything on deck. And I never seen Gatorade in a can before. That's the first
I'm
time
gonna
I
have to
seen
look up that picture because I've never seen that
Yeah,
before.
I'm telling you, it was Gatorade in the can. I was like, yo, this shit is in the can? And Ron was like, yeah, looking at me like I'm bugging.
Like, what else you thought it was?
Right. So, yeah, I just learned a lot from Ron in terms of on and off the court. He was a family man. He raised his children. He was a part of his children. He was with his high school sweetheart at the time. He was a workhorse. You know what I'm saying? Even during the season, he would work out with us. You feel me? He would go swimming, and he would bring us swimming with him. He used to bring us around the town with him because he used to do like interviews and shit like that. He also had a built-in studio in his crib, so he was recording. He had different dudes from Queensbridge coming up, showing him love, spending time with him. So I also learned like money management and stuff like that. I'm actually in Dime magazine because of Ron. Because this when Dime magazine was big,
Yeah,
they
I'm gonna
came and
have
took
to look
pictures.
for that one.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got the pictures. Yeah, I'm actually in Dime magazine. I was in the house with Ron. They took pictures of us and shit. So that was dope.
That was okay. So you go from that to college. At some point, when you have these experiences with these high-level New York City guys and high-level NBA guys at some point in your life, so young, did you ever get big-headed and just feel like, nah, I'm really that dude? Like, y'all don't know what I could bring to, like, was that ever in your head?
Nah, I didn't get big-headed. I just feel like I was always confident, but I wasn't big-headed. I just feel like, I was just always put in a position to learn from older people and experience things, Yeah, Ron is one of them. Chris Taft is another story.
I know that.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So Chris Taft, one of his real close friends, Coach James. Chris Taft was gearing to go to the NBA. And I went to the hotel to hang out with him, and this was when the Reebok Club was big back in the day. So, like, all the NBA agents used to have workouts there for players. So I witnessed that. Like, I'm in the hotel with Chris Taft. He got sneakers to the ceiling. He got the iced-out chain. Like, I'm watching him work out with Ben Gordon trainer. It was crazy. You know what I mean? I got introduced to that. I seen what it was like. I was sitting at the dinner table with agents. I'm listening to what they saying. I'm just like, kid out of Brooklyn that I just always put in these positions, bro, to learn and see. And it's like God was just, when you look back, you get older.
And you're like, damn,
God was just lining it up. You know what I mean? So it was just a moment of time when it could actually go my way or go the other way, which is what I'm doing now.
Got you. So before we get to what you're doing right now, I kind of want to know, how did you even think to even be like, all right, I love this game of basketball. My playing career is going wherever it's going, but I want to pivot now, switch what I'm doing and get into the training aspect or the coaching aspect. What was first, coaching or training, and how did we get there?
I say training. I just didn't know I was doing it. Every team I ever been on in terms of college, I've been to 3 colleges. Okay. So every team I ever been on, I kind of like always led the workouts because I came from that environment with Tippy, with Coach Jackson.
So you're a natural leader.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and my teammates didn't know how to work out. They knew what to do, but they didn't. They knew how to work, but they didn't know the details and the structure, the footworks, or how many shots you make in this spot, shit like that. So I was always like leading small little workouts, little 2-3 people, people that I'm probably close with, and I used to always lead the workout. And lo and behold, I was fucking training them, but also working out with them at the same time. Because I literally led the workout. They used to hit me up, yo, Just, we working out today? I'm like, yeah, meet me at the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm like 18, 19 years old.
On the team.
Right. You feel me? So I was always like, had the workout mentality because I realized what it did for me. Right? Wow. I realized working out made me better, faster. It gave me an edge over my peers. Although I was a late bloomer, I surpassed a lot of people who started before me due to the work ethic, right? Due to the workload and the structure and the experiences playing against older people and stuff like that. So like probably growing up, a kid would probably be playing 12U, right? Like 12 years old, 13U.
Yeah.
I was playing 15U. Then 15, I was playing unlimited. Then 18, I was playing pro. So it was like I took these large leaps, and they didn't even realize it until I got older.
Yeah, exactly.
So I didn't go a typical route that a 12-year-old, 13-year-old would go through that knew about basketball and that was playing AAU or club. I kind of like made leaps, and that made me surpass them, and I got better really fast.
Okay. So where would you say the height of your playing career? Where and when was that? And when did you make that change?
So now, changing from being a player to a trainer or a coach, I actually went from playing to coaching. I was volunteer coaching at St. John's Rec.
Okay.
Basically where I grew up at.
Yeah.
There was an in-house league, so I used to coach there. There was the midgets and the biddy side. So they call it those names because the biddies was like 10U and the midgets was 12U.
Okay.
So that's how they named it that name. And the teams were named after like NBA teams. So be on the Jazz, you be on the Bulls. So it was like that. It was that Coach Lloyd, shout out to Coach Lloyd, that was his league. And, he gave me free range. Like I was coaching like 3 teams. I was reffing. I was doing everything. And that gave me a different eye in terms of, and I still was hooping. So that gave me a different eye. I was developing 2 different eyes. Like I was developing a coaching eye and I was developing a refereeing eye. And refereeing is super hard. But when I was doing it so much, I started to get good at it. My timing was on, the call was on point. I knew what to let slide, and I just started picking up on things. So now I can introduce that to my training because I have 3 eyes. I have the player's eye, the coach's eye, and I have the trainer's eye.
That's kind of crazy because then when you think about that, that means like let's say you go hoop with the guys, you can do things and get to certain spots. I wouldn't say easier, but now you have a better understanding of the real game of basketball. So now, how much of a leg up did you get when playing in runs with your peeps or playing one-on-ones or whatever those competitive atmospheres?
No, coaching definitely makes you a way better player. Anybody that's coaching right now that's young and still hoop, I bet they could all say the same thing. It makes you a way better player because the way you hold players accountable when you're coaching, you start to do that while you're playing. You start to see things develop in slow motion. You start making better reads. Your IQ increase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get to learn how to get guys going or making them better, right? Because you get to learn character and personalities. You can't curse this kid out the same way you curse this kid out. So even it's the same thing as playing. And I'm a point guard, right? So if I know I got a big that's lazy, I got to make him feel like he's all world. Make him set screens, get him the ball in a position to score. If I got a shooter that got no handle, I got to make sure we set him some down screens, some stagger screens, get his shot going. Like, I'm fast, so I get a lot of paint touches, draw the defense, kick it to them, and celebrate them when they make it. I started learning how to do things like that from coaching because, like I said, you develop that eye and that natural feel from doing it so much.
Got you.
Yeah,
All right.
so it was it. So, and then also, I'm going to answer your question. So,
Now, trust me, you are answering it in your own way.
yeah,
for sure.
but I want to answer it directly. Like, I stopped playing professionally or trying to pursue a professional career as I got older, not just because of training and playing, but it was like almost like I didn't want to hoop dream anymore, right? So hoop dreaming is like you get caught up. It's sort of like basketball is like a drug. It's such an addiction. And being from where we from, we try to some people lie just so they could get that love.
Oh my God.
Some people would be like, yeah, I just came back from DR. I was there for 3 weeks, but they was in the crib, right? Because they don't want to face the reality, so they keep trying to hoop dream and create this world that really don't exist, and you really not getting paid that much. So it's like, it's like I just realized, like, bro, what I'm gonna do? Go overseas and make $2,000, $1,000 a month because I'm not gonna go to a high level, right? Because I don't have a big resume. I didn't go to high major Division I. So I'm like hoop dreaming. It's like I could just do this and pour into these kids and make something out of this, and it was the ultimate blessing. You feel me? So
Wow.
I just realized at a certain point in life, like, Yeah, we're not doing the hoop dream shit.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so then my follow up to that, because you just said something very powerful in my opinion, the hoop dream thing. There's a lot of hoop dreams going around in New York City.
Absolutely.
So when you get a kid that you can see yourself, okay, you might have real hoop dreams, and then this kid over here, all right, you might just, it's 50-50, but it's looking like the lesser. How do you, is there a difference in how you coach the two?
No, absolutely not. I feel like everybody gets treated the same because the tools and principles that you instill in them, they can always use it in life. You get what I'm trying to say? So I don't feel like because I know you're not going to the league, I'm going to coach you lesser than a person I know is going to the league. Like everybody gets the same treatment. Everybody get cursed out. Everybody do the same drills. You know, you're just going to have to adapt to it. And you may not go to the league, but we never know where it could take you. You feel me?
Fact.
You could actually go play high level D1. You could play D2. You get a free ride. You could become a fucking trainer, a coach. You could work in medicine. You could do training in terms of like in the room, like wrapping players' ankles and shit like that. You know, you could do sports performance. There's so much that you could become an agent. So those principles and disciplines that you learn from training or having a hard coach, you kind of carry those gems into your life, and it helps you become a father. It helps you become a coach, a mentor. It's the same shit. So I won't take it easy on those kids because you don't. Everybody have a different path, but they still need the same information. They still need that same,
Yes, sir.
that grit, that grind.
Got you. Okay, so let's keep it moving. So you have a docuseries out. Shout out Melo Films. Created that 2023. He followed you around for a few days, few weeks. In one of the episodes, I see you ended up getting to Banneker, somehow working with them. They're one of their sports teams. So why Banneker, and how did that come about? And then how did we get to Humble from Banneker?
I was first school I was at was Brooklyn Collegiate.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
First school I was at was Brooklyn Collegiate. I was there on Saturday and Sundays training. I started there coaching high school basketball as well. I coached JV. I was the head coach for JV.
Got you.
I got introduced to Ruth Lovelace through the process of it. I left Brooklyn Collegiate and I went to Boys and Girls. Then I was at Boys and Girls for about 5 years, 6 years maybe. And then after the pandemic, just some funny business started going on in terms of administration and myself. So I kind of was like forced out. Then I had no gym for about 6 months. I was like piggybacking off of Tippy sessions at the Post. I don't even know how I survived, honestly.
The grit and the grind.
Yeah, so I was like piggybacking off of Tippy's sessions. I was sneaking in the Post, trying to get workouts in. I was, when they put the hoops back up for the pandemic, I was outside every single day. But yeah, and then I was on the verge of renting out a gym. And the principal of Banneker, I know him since Park West when I went to high school.
Got you.
He was the girls coach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was the head coach for the girls team.
Okay.
So I actually stopped by just to kick it with him and tell him, like, yo, I'm about to, rent out this gym and do some stuff for my brand. He was like, you better off doing it here, renting out here and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, cool. So, I didn't, and honestly, I could be very honest, leaving Boys and Girls facility and going to a Banneker facility is like, to me, was a devastated drop. So I'm just being honest. Because
I know. Yeah.
Boys and Girls had 2 big ass gyms.
Yeah, word.
Each gym had 8 baskets.
Facts.
2 big ass weight rooms.
Yeah.
Big, right? Then I had a huge football field with a track, and I literally utilized all of that shit.
Yeah.
And then I had the keys to the gym and all that shit because I was also the coach there as well. I was the head JV coach, and I was the assistant coach for varsity. I did a lot of the recruiting and stuff like that. I trained the team. I ran practices. So I kind of like poured a lot into Boys and Girls. Boys and Girls is kind of like the starting point of my brand. Then I started having celebrity kids come in and stuff like that. I started coaching AAU through the process of being at Boys and Girls. But when I came to Banneker, I actually became bigger, right? And sometimes, God would take you out of a place and you feel like you need it, and it's like, no, I got this for you. Just trust me. you know, and sometimes you'll look at it like, that? You serious? You want me to take that? Come on, man. I just had this. And yeah, I came to Banneker and the brand just blew up like drastically, like crazy.
What year is Banneker? 2023 or 4?
What you mean, that I came?
That you got? Okay, so it's probably before that. So yeah.
I actually came to Banneker 2023, I believe.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out the
2023.
timeline here.
2023, I came to Banneker. Yep.
Got you.
2023.
Okay. So you get there 2023, and then you have middle school camps. Well, not just middle school, but you have all different ages.
Yeah.
Started camps.
Yeah.
And then now we get from middle school camps to then the Humble Runs start to eventually start, I believe, the next year, because your first year for Humble Runs is 2024, correct?
No. My first year for Humble Runs is 2018.
2018 is your first year of Humble Runs.
Yeah.
Okay, so the outside public is just now getting to see.
Yeah, Melo Films just put it on steroids. But
Shout out Melo Films.
Yeah, I had it. I created this. I have so much ideas in my head. Like,
I didn't know that for real.
Yeah, my middle school league was out of boys and girls.
Okay.
Then I did one summer in the park at St. John's Park. But I have these creative ideas. So my middle school league, just to harp on that, it's called the Humble League. And it was something that me and my boy DeJuan McMillan, who's now coaching Division I college basketball right now.
Shout out him.
We combined our heads together. We reconnected. We knew each other from youth, and we used to be together all the time. St. John's rec days, working each other out, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And when we reconnected, we came up with this league where it was something different that no one's seen. We had free haircuts every day. We had nail techs. We had how you say it? It's not ceremonies. I forgot the name of it, but we had these seminars.
Oh, okay.
So we had seminars.
I was trying to think the word myself.
Yeah, so we had seminars, and every team had to attend seminars or you won't qualify for the playoffs. And all teams make playoffs, but if you got to do the seminars. So that was a rule. We enforced it. And in the seminars, we teaching financial literacy. We got Sebastian Telfair come up there, tell his life story.
Wow.
Just basically expressing to them what he was thinking at 14 years old, because a lot of those kids are like in middle school, because it was a middle school league. We had retired basketball players, females that are now NYPD police officers. We had chairmen from the weather on Channel 7 News come. We had Tutu Holloway, big time pro.
Wow.
He came, spoke to the kids.
Yeah, that's a pro for real.
You know, we had Brent Jones. We had a lot of people
Jones
come.
brothers, man.
Yeah, we had a lot of people come, talk to the kids in those sessions, and we created a league where it was like we put a twist to it, right? It was like when we put our heads together, you know, DeJuan was like, "Yo, what is something you want to implement?" And I'm like, "Yo, my biggest pet peeve from coaching middle school basketball was the fact that you could be up by 10 and hold the ball for 5 minutes. I hated it. So we were the first league to ever put a shot clock in middle school basketball. Wow. No one ever did it until we did it. Wow. And that was, like I said, it was a pet peeve of mine. So we implemented the shot clock, because we ran it out of boys and girls, and they had a shot clock system because it's a high school gym. So we used to utilize that, and that made the game so much more intense. Coaches were held accountable, because you just can't hold the ball now. Yeah, now you got to execute. Yeah. You got to run something. Yeah. Right? Because you could be up by 10 and lose if you don't know how to execute and coach properly and have proper strategy. So we held everybody accountable, and we also, this came from DeJuan, where when you get subbed out, it's mandatory that you run off the court, just like Division I. So that was a rule. So if you walk off the court, it's a tech. It's a warning.
Tech?
It's a warning.
Oh, warning first.
It's a warning first. Okay. Second time is a tech. If you get a tech in terms of unsportsmanship conduct, you're done for the day. You can't even play one tech. You're done.
So you're really instilling in these kids certain values.
Exactly.
Before they even really knew what it was yet.
Exactly. And you'll have parents now starting to yell from the stands, run off the court, run off the court.
You know the parents going to get into it once they know.
Yo, it was crazy. You know, and, you know, like I said, it was very big for the culture. It was art. My creative mind, once again, we gave away bikes. you know. And like I said, growing up, I rode my bike everywhere, and I feel like that's a lost art. Kids don't even know how to get to a certain. They don't know how to get to their friend's house unless they in the Uber.
Some of these people don't even know street names and stuff.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Word,
they don't know the back streets. Like, I
Word.
knew everything because I rode my bike everywhere. I knew, you can't go down that block because that shit is gang affiliated. You gotta go around.
You gotta go around.
You gotta, you know what I'm
if you go on
saying?
that block, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, they'll chase you in your block, try to knock you off and take your bike. You know what I mean? So you gotta know where to go and stuff like that. And I feel like also the health component, like being healthy, giving kids bikes, like working on your legs, riding your bikes. Like, I used to ride my bike so far, then hoop, then get on my bike and ride home. You know how much in shape I was just off for doing that.
My bro right behind you.
You feel me?
He know about that. Like,
so that's a lost art in our city because that was big for us growing up.
Currently right now,
you know what I mean? Right. So I gave away bikes just to try to bring that feel back. We gave away Apple Watches for academic awards. We gave away 7-foot trophies for MVP of the league. And, yeah, we did all of this with no sponsorship at all.
No sponsorship.
No sponsorship. That's why I don't do the league no more because it's tough to maintain.
It is tough.
You know what I mean? So I would love to start it back, but hopefully Sway Report could give me a sponsor.
Yes, sir.
And we could bring it back.
Y'all heard it already. Somebody help this man so we could. Because you're really entrenched in grassroots is what I'm hearing. Grassroots,
absolutely.
It seems like you have a real passion for that. I don't know if it's because maybe you didn't have it as much growing up, or is it just you just looking at the future and like, you know what? I'm already at a certain age. I know what I can do. Let's see if I can hand it down, pass it down. So that part, I do want to give you your flowers. I just want to say a round of applause real quick.
Appreciate it.
Because I'm not going to lie, bro. Some of these things I didn't know about you, and hearing them in real time is just like, I don't know people doing this. Maybe I'm not tapped in enough, but for you to even say that you did this, and it's like you're not really publicizing it as much, that just speaks to the type of person you are. And I just want to outwardly give you your flowers before we even done.
Appreciate it.
This is next level.
But, yeah, appreciate it.
But as we go forward, one thing that I saw, I remember seeing this when it happened. So I think this is before I even knew you. You have a daughter by the name of Zola.
Absolutely.
She shut down the I don't know if it was that was a camp.
It was camp.
It was camp. So she dropped little bro.
Right.
And shot the 3 and made it, and everybody went crazy. So like it's like you have 2 babies. One of your babies just like went crazy, and your baby is the runs in the camp. So like when you have your own daughter there and gravitating to the sport you love, and also making that moment that kind of elevates your stature as the atmosphere you're bringing to these kids, how did that make you feel in that moment? I don't know if you were the one recording that video.
I was actually recording it.
All right, so yeah, talk to me. What's that like, seeing your daughter pull a move like that at that age? And yeah.
It's definitely a great feeling. I was happy. I was ecstatic. You know, I was happy for her. I try to use basketball to help her mentally. I try to use basketball to give her some peace in her mind. I try to use basketball to give her certain those life structures, principles that I say that it can give you as a person. Yeah, she soaked it all up. You know, she actually trained for a year, and she got so good so fast. And you know, she was very adaptable. She became vocal. She became confident. She came like real fiery, and you know, she loved the space, and she was comfortable, and she felt at home. And to witness her do that was like a big moment for me, because just to know what she's been through and what she's going through as a person, just to have some joy in the game of basketball with something that I love and that clearly she loves as well. We shared a common love, not only for each other, but in the sport. And we kind of like, you know, we lived on the same planet, obviously. So it was really good to see her do that and to watch her be celebrated by her peers and coaching staff and stuff like that. And that's definitely like a memorable moment for me as a father to witness. You know, like I created that. You know what I mean? She couldn't do that before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And on top of it, it's my daughter. So it was just a great feeling.
I bring up your daughter because, one, clearly that's family for you. And then as we fast forward to current day, 2025, Humble Runs has been kicking off. I'm looking at the type of people that walk in, not the hoopers, but the people that walk in with the hoopers. And some of these people are mothers, fathers, family members. But you also still preach the grittiness of playing competitive basketball while still having a family-oriented atmosphere. Because when you look at the people that are helping you train these kids, Brent Jones, that's somebody you've trained his brother. And then you've also had other guys, I'm sorry if I'm not knowing their names at this current time, but these guys are all familiar faces that I've seen with you.
Yeah.
Now I rewind a little bit because in your docuseries, Melo had asked certain family members how they felt about you and what you were doing and how you have impacted their child and stuff such alike. So I'm just gonna read off a few quotes, and I want you to potentially describe how you feel when you hear these things, and does that continue to motivate you? So one quote says, "He pays attention to detail. Everything is mental training for what you might endure. He keeps me disciplined. He communicates with children in a different way than these other coaches. Justin has quickly become family." So these are quotes from people you've trained and their parents. When you hear that, how gratifying is that? And what does that do to the brand and how you want to keep paving it forward?
I feel like those are all like, great expressions of love in terms of what I'm doing for these people and their children. I also feel like that has been the norm for me in terms of being in this industry and being who I am. There's bunch of families that I'm actually a part of just because of basketball, and it's all race. It's Chinese, it's Caucasians, it's blacks, it's Indian. It's like literally, I swear to God, I'm like a part of so many families. Like I get a gift on Christmas, I get a gift on birthdays, I get calls when they graduate. I'm literally a part of families, and it's been this way for a long time. So it's definitely refreshing because you're working your ass off to do something and to be recognized and to be known so you can do it for more people because it is a service. It's a service that I'm doing through God. So it just definitely gives me gives me that gratitude. Like I feel good. Like I feel like the chip is off my shoulder. Like I feel good. Like I'm doing a good job out here. It doesn't matter if everybody in the world don't know. These people know, and this is just enough. You know what I'm saying? I feel good about that. I don't have to have the top or the most famous person, because a lot of people that I do work with and families that I am a part of, these people are big people in terms of like they own companies, they do some big time stuff in America. You know what I mean? So to me, that's a big victory for me, and just to hear them say those things, it just keeps adding on. You know what I mean? It makes me want to do it more. You feel me? Like I want to help more kids. I want more families to say that, more families to feel safe, right? I want you to feel safe to have your child around me because I am a good person. And I do try to represent that atmosphere where your kid come in, his family, but it's harsh, but it's realistic and it's blunt because, a lot of these families, the parents become successful and the kids don't end up growing up like how the parents did, and the parents bring them to me because I still can incorporate the old school terminology with the new school, and it's like, yeah, my son need that, he needs that, or my daughter needs that, yeah, yell at her, get on her, get on him, you know what I mean? Because it's hard when it's from the parent. Like almost every single father that brings their child to me says the same thing. I'll be telling him the same thing, but when you say it, he listen to you. You know what I mean? From now on, you just talk to him. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, and I can understand how that is as well because, I trained my daughter, and there was times where we clashed. And I was like, you know what? Listen, if you want to listen to me, you do. If not, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, but we had a different understanding, a different respect, but I still also try to use other voices. I did allow other people to join our session, people that are knowledgeable of basketball, though.
Of course.
Right? Of course. So I didn't just have some random person working with me and my daughter. I had people that I was connected with for years, that I know had a resume, that I know had something to offer. So that was also a relief for me just to even sit there. Sometimes I would take my daughter to Long Island to train with Jerry Powell, I would go there, and me and Jerry have a really good relationship.
Yeah.
And I would go there and just be a father, be a dad. You know what I mean? I would sit there, you know, on her water breaks. You need some water? You good? And sit back down.
Yeah, I was about to be like,
You know what I mean?
When do you turn off the training hat and then put on the dad hat? Like, what are your cues or moments where you're like, all right, let me take this out. Let me put that to the side. Now I gotta.
Yeah, I mean,
again.
as a father, it's all the time you gotta wear that dad hat. You know what I mean? Even when you are training your kid, because it's like you still have a fragile relationship with your kid. You know what I mean? They're not grown. They don't understand everything. They don't know the reason why you're being so hard on them and stuff like that. So that makes it fragile. So you have to approach it differently with less intensity, right? But you can still push them a little bit, but pay attention to their body language, pay attention to their mannerisms and how they're receiving you, and kind of dial off a little bit.
Yeah.
Or you could push off and y'all could share that energy and be hyped together, high five. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But sometimes you got to pull back a little bit because you're dad. You know what I mean? You're the hero. So you got to still remain hero in the eyes. So it's a very tough, touchy situation. You just got to know how to navigate in it. Because some fathers, you know, they grew up in Brooklyn. We grew up a certain way, bro. You know, stop that fucking crying, acting soft.
Stuck in our ways,
the kid probably had a bad day. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know that side of it because we didn't grow up that way. So it's like, you know, you got to learn how to navigate in it for real. You just got to be educated on the human body, the mind, and you know how they feel. Because at the end of the day, they're just humans. You know, so.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it's tough though. I ain't gonna lie.
So, all right, so let's kind of keep it on the family side just for a little bit. How do you balance being a family man? I understand you have multiple kids. I want to give you the time to say each of their names. And I know you have a lovely wife in your life. So talk about how you can, because I know when we at Humble Runs, you working before the day. You still doing stuff before I get there at 7 p.m.
Absolutely.
So how are you able to still attack a part of your dream and your career and still be the family man you are, and try to describe those battles, struggles sometimes, if there are any?
Yeah, I just feel like it's all about balance. A lot of people lack that. Sometimes as humans and as being driven for success, we become tunnel vision and we forget the balance. We kind of like just put our head down and focus on the one thing.
I feel like you're talking to me right now.
You know what I mean? Where there's so many other things around that does matter as well. So I feel like I learned how to balance, you know, due to my relationships, due to mentorship, due to speaking to people that have been through things and giving me advice. So I learned how to navigate and add tools to being a businessman and also a father. You know what I mean? So I feel like the balance part is really where it comes from. And my children's name is Jameer Bright. That's my oldest. He goes to Stepinac. He just graduated.
Congrats to him.
He's about to go to Albany University. So
Congrats to him.
yeah, shout out to him. Great kid, honor roll.
Yes, sir.
Me and his mom did a great job at co-parenting. Mostly her because she had him. He lived with her, but for his early years he spent a lot of time with me. And his later years, obviously, it's so hard to catch up with a high school kid. They got football practice. They grown.
They want
you
to
know
be themselves.
Right.
Facts.
So we still kick it. We still talk all the time. So that's him. And then you have my daughter Zola, who plays basketball. We had an on and off relationship in terms of being present due to like long distance, due to like personal reasons in terms of the family dynamic. But yeah, anytime that she was with me, it was like the best, and we spent a lot of time together. It was just a reconnect every single time, and it was always good vibes. And she's currently playing ball right now. She actually played for New Heights. She's still doing her thing. We don't see much of each other, but I hear everything that she's doing, so I'm definitely proud of her. Then also, you have my 2-year-old, Justice. She is me all over again. Silly, bratty, athletic, super smart, charismatic. She's everything. It's like a breath of fresh air being around her. Happy all the time. she makes everybody happy. Like that's her. She has that spirit, that vibe. That's her. She makes everybody happy. And then we just had another baby, me and my fiance, on May 24th. Her name is Journey. So Journey Bright. That's the latest addition to the family. And yeah, we still learning her. We still vibing with her. And I'm pretty sure she'll be, the world as well. And then my fiance as well. Being with her definitely helped me become a better father, a better man, a better businessman. A lot of things, when you get that right partner, they kind of like elevate you. And that is a true saying. Especially when they like have God centered in their life. You know what I mean? Like that, me witnessing her good habits, right? I'm trying to add it to myself in terms of the discipline and having God involved and the business mindset, just navigating fatherhood. Like, like I said, fathers growing up in Brooklyn, we are way more stern. We kind of approach everything so harsh and hard. Like, nah, what you crying about? And she kind of taught me how to be soft, especially with Zola. She kind of taught me how to be soft. Like, I'm watching Zola, I speak to her, babe, you got to be a little. Yeah. And I'm like, what? You bugging? Nah, she need like this. And she like, trust me. And I started doing things that she said, and it was like, it was working. You know what I mean? I started bringing my daughter flowers to school just cause, like, just making her feel special, knowing that, this is how a man's supposed to treat you. You know what I mean? So just little stuff like that I definitely learned from my fiance because, growing up in my household, in any house, I'm pretty sure most of our households, we come from a single-parent home. Okay. And my mom, she was single and she raised two brothers. So I didn't really get to see all of that or know what that was about. We outside playing ball, fending for ourselves, waiting till mom come home, do what it do. Being with my fiance, it kind of shed a different light on life. You know what I mean? How to be and how to, cope with my daughter and stuff like that. So definitely hats off to her and what we are building and where we going in life as well.
Can we just get a quick applause for fatherhood?
That's a fact.
Can we just do that real quick?
Yeah, fatherhood.
But I think this is a perfect time to pivot a little bit to your father. You said earlier off camera that you met him when you were very young. But after that, I would like you to give the chance to potentially tell your story on that side. I think the person, my man's behind the camera, when you say the name of who your father is, he's going to look up and be like, word. So could you try to describe that story and maybe the ups and downs of not having your father always in your life at that time?
Yeah, for sure. My father is a big-time reggae artist. His name is Tenasaw. He have a hit song called Ring the Alarm. It's global. Everybody knows it. And especially in Jamaica.
Input song now.
Every person knows him. And when I go to Jamaica, it's like royalty. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in Barris Hammond House. I'm all over the place, bro. I'm like with big names, big stars. People show love all the time. And my family dynamic as well. When they see me, they see him. You know what I mean? And he died so young. He died 20 years old. So I met him when I was young. I met him when I was about 2 years old, going on 2. So didn't know much of him other than stories and pictures. His sister is one of my close aunts on his side. Me and her actually have the same birthday. His aunt, who is my great aunt, she also have the same birthday as me. Oh, so those two were like my closest 2 people to him after he passed. And then as I got older, I started going to Jamaica on my own and learning more about him and going to places that he grew up and meeting people that knew him and stuff like that, just hearing their stories and, their moments and times that they had with him. But, having him not around was kind of like he was always around because of who he was and how people treated me and stuff like that. So it was like his spirit was always around. And, I just feel like it's awesome to have a dad who's that big, sad that he's not here. If he was here, would I be doing what I'm doing? I highly doubt it because he'll be such a big star right now. I feel like, you know, everything happens for a reason. You know, his situation is very sad in terms of he was murdered. You know what I mean? Just a young kid in the industry, didn't know much, from the ghetto of Jamaica. So people took advantage, used him, things, you know, lured him into doing things, and, you know, introducing him to certain experiences in life that he wasn't mentally prepared for, you know, and he's fending for himself. He don't have an OG, he don't have a big brother with him. He's 19 years old, you know what I mean? And he's kind of like similar to like a Pop Smoke story. You know what I mean? Both young, reached a very high peak of their career and got murdered, you know, and left a son behind. You know what I mean? And so it's interesting, and it's also, I find love in it and I find peace in it as well, because it's like just to, you know, retrace his footsteps and meet these people that knew him and stuff like that. I feel like I'm still like learning him and a part of him, like every year, every day. Like there's something that I'm discovering that I know, or some type of interview, or this picture that was online that I never saw. There's always something popping up. And I have like an Instagram page that I started for him, Tenna.saw on IG. So, and that's crazy because I hardly post shit, and it's like hundreds of people follow every time I go back on there and check. Like, I swear, I hardly post anything, and every time I go in there, it's like a whole list of new followers every single time. So that's his name and his music. You know, you live through your music. You live on for generations. You know what I mean? So I feel like he's one of those guys, and he's definitely a GOAT of dancehall, and he paved the way for a lot of dancehall artists today. And I definitely have a lot of him in me due to what people tell me, the stories. You know, how much of a hothead he was and shit like that. You know, so it's not a bittersweet thing. I wish he was here. I wish I could, of course.
Have these types of conversations.
Right, who don't want that, but, you know, it's out of my control, and I try to always focus on what I can control.
You mentioned something earlier, like different points in your life, you just realize it's God type things are happening. I just want to, I guess, to transition, I would say it seems like you're a mirror of the person that helped make you. It's just you don't know the type of person he really was until you just start doing things in life. And I feel like from hearing you right now, it seems like your passion is, or your greatness is on par with what he was going on with. Might be a little bit more less of a audience because of New York City and how everything is, but I do see a passion or a trajectory of greatness with what you got going on. So I just feel like those are two mirrors, two lives. One ended abruptly and one started very much before that ending. So it's like I see the similarities, and I do see the way God works with what you're doing. And you say God like every other sentence. Like you praise that a lot. So how much is religion potentially in your life and how you walk about every day?
Religion is big. But I'm more like on the spiritual side.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay.
Because I have.
You're not big on scripture, is what you're saying?
No, I am.
Okay.
I like scriptures. I'm not big on them, but
Okay.
I like scriptures though. Okay. Because I've learned as I got older the true meanings of certain scriptures and stuff like that, and the message behind it. But I've probably been through a lot of different religions. My grandparents were Catholic. My mom's parents, they were Catholic. So I used to go to Catholic church when I was younger. Right there on Eastern Parkway in Utica, St. Matthews. Yep, I used to go there as a little kid.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then
you're really right there for real. Like.
Yeah, and then I used to go to a Baptist church on, what is that? Rochester and Lincoln Place.
I know where.
My babysitter, she used to go there, so I used to.
Oh wow.
My babysitter's like an aunt, so I used to still go to her crib, and it was mandatory. If you came for the weekend, you go to church. So I used to go with her, and I used to be in church. And then as I got older, kind of like wasn't into church as much. And then I kind of got back into church, doing through like based on life experiences and stuff like that. Okay. Maturing as a man, start seeking God more and stuff like that. And then also practice Buddhism for a while, probably like for 4 years, maybe more than that. But my mentor had introduced me to that. And You know, the reason why I joined Buddhism, like everybody think Buddhism is like you pray to the fat statue and stuff like that. So there's like just like Christian, there's so many different forms. It's the same thing. And then I was a part of this practice called the SGI. So it basically, the definition of Buddhism is the same definition I have for humble development. That's what made me join. So Buddhism helped you unleash your full potential in life. And that's kind of like the same definition I have for humble development. Every kid that walks in my door or that trains with me, that's my goal, to help them reach their full potential in life, not just basketball. So that's what made me join it. And also, like this thing called the Culture Center is it's like in Union Square over there by 14th Street.
Yeah.
And my first attendance to one of those were like a shocker. It was like, not a shocker, but it was like refreshing, because you go to a Muslim church, everybody look the same. You go to a Baptist church, everybody look the same. Christian church, everybody look the same. You know, you go to mosque with the Jewish people, all look the same. But when I went to the Culture Center, there were lesbians, gay couples, white people, black people, Asian people, like Indian people, everybody, which was on this planet. You get what I'm trying to say? And I was just like,
I'm following.
This what supposed to be like, bro. Like, why are we separated? We should be together. Like, this is fire. And there was so much love and positivity, because, like I said, it's all about, Buddhism is really based on creating good karma. Like, you got to create good karma for yourself. And they're big on the universe. They have this thing called the majestic law, and that's like the universe. So it's like, if you put out negative things, it's going to come back to you.
Come right back.
Right? So Buddhism is all about putting out good karma, manifesting, and also like wishing well for people, even if people done you wrong, stuff like that. It gives you like a real deep mental strength. And like times in my mentor apartment, I've sat there and chant for 30 minutes, bro. Do you know what that's like, to chant for 30 minutes? You can't move, you can't go nowhere. That takes discipline. And I had to read scriptures in a whole nother language. Like, I know how to read it in another language. So I had to learn that pronunciation of the words, and they're written differently. It's crazy, like, to identify them and stuff like that. It just opened my mind differently. So, you know, dating my fiance now, she's big on Christianity, and she's also a spiritual person as well. And I'm a big on spirit, so I just really focus on the spirituality, but I also believe in God. And I try to like always incorporate, you know, the Buddhism gems with the Christian and combining it. And it's like, you're going to become the ultimate righteous person. Like, you got to do good. You know what I'm saying? So I try to just do it like that.
Yo, I hope y'all listening, man, because everything is really tying together with everything he's saying. I hope y'all listening, but let's get back to it. Let's get back to the sports side of it, right? So I realized you went to the NBA draft in 2023.
Absolutely.
Barclays Center.
That's my first time.
That was your first time?
Yeah,
Okay.
been.
You got to see Victor Wembanyama go first overall.
Yup. I was on the elevator with his parents. They both mad tall. Super tall.
This is what I've been talking about. There's like little tidbits you've been a part of that only you can speak to. So like going to the draft, seeing the NBA talent, the scouts, the executives that were potentially in the building, stuff like that. You were in a room not many people can say they were in. So just talk about that experience first before I get to my next question.
So the NBA draft was definitely not what I thought it was going to be.
You look like it disappointed you a little bit.
Yeah, it was super disappointing. I feel like if I was on a larger scale in terms of in the industry, it would have probably been more enjoyable. But due to like nobody really knowing me there, it wasn't fun for me, because it was like you were just another citizen in the crowd that's waiting for 8 hours, 10, 12 hours to see who gets called. And I feel like if you're in the industry and you're on the floor with the tables, you probably get to rub elbows more, you get to network with people, stuff like that. Like, I ran into Tim Martin, and I wanted to talk to him. I'm like, yo, Tim, what's up? I gave him a 5, and he just looked at me like, who are you? Like, I gotta go. Like, Victor about to get drafted, bro. I don't got time to talk to you. But if I was somebody and he knew about me, he would have been like, yo, Josh, what's going on? This, that. Like how it is for me now, that people that do know me, that are big in the industry, you feel me? But I just feel like if you're not known like that, it's not really enjoyable for you. You know, it's just, and it's long. It's like almost 2 days long. It's super long. Like, it was like I left. I was there for like 5 hours, and it was only up to like the 10th pick or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's really long. It's not
commercials in there.
right.
And all
So I'm
that
like,
good stuff. Okay.
yeah, I'm out of here. I might be
Gotcha.
dragging it with the 10th pick, but it was nowhere near 30th pick.
Yeah, it's nowhere near. I can
You know what
imagine
I mean?
it was nowhere near 30.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here. This shit was whack to me. It's
Gotcha.
whatever.
Got you.
Yeah.
I see on your humble development page, not the page, but the website, you have a picture with Kobe Bryant, and you're wearing a Mamba League shirt. So at some point, you find yourself sitting next to one of the greatest players of all time, and you seem like you guys are having a conversation. So I don't know if you remember that conversation at all.
Definitely.
So please give the people what the hell you were saying to Kobe at that moment, and how did you even get to being a part of his camp, one of the trainers at his camp?
Just doing good work, networking with people. I've done gigs for Jordan Brand. I've done gigs for Nike. I've done gigs for this marketing agency called Game 7. They used to hire me to do training and stuff like that, and just keeping a good reputation.
Mm-hmm.
They inquired of having me do Mamba Academy in 3 locations, 1 in Staten Island and 2 in New York, I believe, 1 in Harlem and 1 in the Bronx. Yeah, I think it was something like that. And Millbank was one of the locations. That was the one, the picture with Kobe.
Gotcha.
But Kobe only came to 1 site.
And that's
The other 2, they did like a video op with him, and he's talking to the kids like, "Yo, welcome to the Mamba Academy."
Well, you got to
You
see
know
the
that,
man up
but
close in person.
yeah. So when we did it at the Millbank joint, like he came through, and like I said, bro, growing up, I was never starstruck. Like I went to school across the street from the Def Jam building. I used to see Cameron, Joel Santana.
Word.
I used to see Hove because the Def Jam building was there. So his Maybach, if you saw his Maybach outside, you knew he was there. So we saw him one time,
Shit
and
like that.
you know, I was never like, and Jay-Z my favorite rapper, but I never was the type. Even when I met Ron Artest, I was playing a game in the arcade, and he came, tapped my shoulder, like, "What's up, I'm Ron?" I'm like, "Oh, what's up? Nice to meet you." Start playing the game.
Like, okay.
And he probably looked at me like, "Who the fuck this little?" You know what I mean? But it wasn't like this is me. Like I'm not a Star Trek person. So yeah, it was just one of those moments where it's like, I belong here, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty much it.
Got you. So I want to get into some of the people you've trained, right? So I don't think you really flaunt that as much. You're more of a guy that just, no pun intended, but stays humble with what he does. I know you've trained Cayenne.
Right.
There's the C. Jeffries of the world.
Right.
The Rippy family.
Right.
Like, try to give us paint the picture of who you've had an impact on, who's a name and who isn't a name, just for those that understand how much you've been in this game and how far you've come and how much more room you have to grow.
Yeah, so I reflect back to even the Mamba thing. So knowing that I trained Cayenne, that was like something I used to break the ice to even talk to Kobe. You know what I mean? Because Kobe and Melo is mad close.
That's a fact. They were.
Like when we created the Black Ops team and I was coaching and training Cayenne, I used to be with Melo like 15 days out the month, bro. Like I was with him all the time because he was there all the time. He was at all the practices on the road with us. So he shared with me so much insight on the NBA as well in terms of lifestyle, stories. And Melo got so many stories. And Kobe is like somebody he was super, super close with. So when I met Kobe at the Mamba Academy, I was introduced myself. "Hey, what's up? How you doing? My name is Justin Bright, CEO, Humble Development. You know, I train Cayenne Anthony." You know, he said, "You train Cayenne? Yo, you did some good work with him. Yo, that's what's up." Like, that's how Kobe reacted to me. Gave me 5, looked me in my eyes, dapped me up. And sorry, I never got to answer that question. That conversation I was having with him, there was a little girl in my dribbling line that was crying because she couldn't do the dribbling drills. So I came to him and I whispered in his ear like, "Yo, bro, I got this girl over here who's devastated because she can't dribble. I need you to come over here and make her feel better." So he literally left. He was on a passing station. He left the passing station, sat on the floor with the girl and was showing her how to just do this. And it was like the biggest moment of the shit because everybody came, and started recording him doing it. It was an intimate session with him and the girl. Like I literally, that's why I was whispering in his ear, telling him. And back to the kids that I've trained, I've been fortunate to train a lot of people. Cayenne especially. Lala is the one who discovered me. I was, like I said, I did gigs for Jordan Brand and stuff like that. I was in Terminal 23. I was the head.
Terminal 23. Wow.
Yeah, I was the head basketball trainer for skill development preseason for all the Jordan Brand schools. So I used to train Scanlon, Westinghouse, and Wings. So I used to train those 3 schools. They used to come to Terminal just to work out with me. And I used to run the practices and stuff like that. No coaches, just me and the kids. And the other guy who ran the strength and conditioning part, his name is Kurt Joseph. He actually was a trainer in the NBA for some time. Now he coaches at Nebraska, I believe. But he's also a Brooklyn guy as well. But he started at Terminal. And it was just me and him. And Lala Gauchos used to use Terminal for practice.
Okay.
So Lala and Cayenne came early one day, and Lala saw me working. I didn't know she was there. Lala saw me working, and shout out to my boy Kashif Pratt. He called me. I was like, yo, Lala wants your number. She wants you to train Cayenne. You want me to give it to her? I'm like, duh. Like, give it to her. The fuck? Of course.
Why you asking me this question right now?
So, and then me and Lala gemmed and gelled. You know, first I used to talk to her through her assistant, and then it was me and her. Then we became super close, you know, like brothers and sisters. And Cayenne was like my little brother. He was with me all the time, like every single day.
That's crazy.
On weekends. Then we created the AAU team. So now I'm not only am I his trainer, but I was his coach for AAU. So I get to like really dissect him and work on him. And with me having access to boys and girls, I had Cayenne
in the gym like every other day.
I had him because I was a JV coach, so I had him practicing with my JV team.
Oh my god.
Then sometimes I had him practicing with Voss because I ran the practices.
Yeah.
Then I would train him after with kids that I trained at all comes. You know what I mean? So he was getting that same treatment that I got. I kind of used that formula like I expressed earlier in this interview where I'm young but I'm playing with older people all the time, and it helps me take these leaps. You know what I mean? So I kind of used that formula with him. And, you know, his dad came home from the NBA. I don't train him as much, but we definitely have a solid relationship. You know, he came to my camp last summer. I trained him in front of the kids. He did a great Q&A with the kids, and he expressed how much I've helped him, how much he appreciated me, shit like that. So that's also like a relief because, you know, sometimes, like I say, you want to know that you did a good job.
Yeah.
Not to be popular or so, but like, yo, did he leave because I'm bad? Did he leave because I'm good? Was it his father who pulled him away? Like, what was it? And you just realize at times that it's just business. You know what I mean? And his dad has his own clique and army that he's affiliated with, that he wants Cayenne to go through the pipelines with.
He probably already had a plan.
Right. So, everybody has a role. You know, God used me in the early stage of his life that helped him get to where he is. And we all got to graduate from something.
Okay.
And I probably was that person that he needed early on to give him that edge to get to where he's at now. And the rest is up to him and his dad and his team, his mom, for what they can orchestrate. And then you got the Ron Rippey, you know, met him 4 years ago through New Heights. He actually played in my middle school league. He told me, I didn't even know that. He told me while in the process of training him. But yeah, he's another kid who, you know, I bring a different style to him. We actually just worked out before I came here, me and him.
Oh, word?
Yeah, we was working out for like an hour and a half.
Ron, man.
So, yeah, he's like a sponge. He's a quick learner. You know, he comes from 2 hard-hat parents that grew up in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, you know, one of the roughest areas of Brooklyn. You know, they instill some grit and toughness and mental toughness into their kids. And Ron is able to handle me, but also look up to me and learn so much from me. And I feel like that's the connection we have because I'm always challenging him. He will never come to the gym and know what we're about to do. And I've trained him 1,000 times. He would never come to the gym and be like, I already know what Just about to do. We're about to do this. No, never. You can ask him yourself. He would never know. He's always clueless. You know what I mean? I think that's also what makes me unique is my creativity is big on challenging and keeping kids on their toes. And, you know, just being real with him and being a mentor to him, being a big brother figure to him as well. Just sharing that relationship with him is big for me as well because he keeps me young, you know. And, yeah, and then, you know, I got a lot of players that I helped, the Bryce Jones, who's
just start ringing off names.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Bryce Jones, big name overseas. This guy's winning MVP.
Yeah.
Every league, every division he goes. The first time I known about you is you did an interview with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I tapped in. That's
I
how
gotta tap back in with Bryce.
Yeah, that's how I tapped in.
It's been a minute with him.
Yeah, Bryce is a special talent. We spend a lot of hours, a lot of days, and also same thing, the brothership, the brotherhood that we created. Me being a big brother, and he was home. He got cut from Greece after college, and he kind of hit like a depression phase.
He told me about that.
He didn't want to come outside, and me being at Boys and Girls, I used to train Brent first. Me and Brent used to train all the time.
Facts.
But then I also developed a relationship with their mom because their mom was the parent coordinator.
Yeah, moms be outside
right?
too.
So I developed. It was like so like connected. So when Bryce was going through, his mom used to always tell me, "Yo, call him, try to get him out the house, come in the gym with you, work out." So I slowly just took my time with him, and he started coming out. He started helping me coach the Boys and Girls team. Started sitting on the bench, and through the process of it, he actually shared something that I never knew. That he said, just don't even know. I used to look up to him so much. I used to ride my bike to Wingate Park just to watch him play every time, and I never knew that. When he said that in front of the kids, because he was expressing himself.
Yeah.
And I feel like him coaching at Boys and Girls was therapeutic. It brought him back to his old childhood self, because he went through a lot at Boys and Girls too. He wasn't a star player.
Yeah.
They was shitting on him. He's because of his size. They didn't play him as much, but he still was tough and always held his confidence. So he went through a lot there as well. He had to play JV. He had to earn his shit. Like Bryce probably one of my favorite hoop stories, because he was an undersized player who played literally every level of basketball. He played the PAL, he played AAU, he played JV, he played varsity, he played prep school, he played JUCO, he played D1, he played low level, not low level, but low level overseas, and now he's on the biggest stages. Like, bro, he's one of my favorite hoop stories. To go through what he's been through and still sustain and be a household name overseas now is big, bro. It's big. So definitely, we are super close. I had an opportunity last year to go to Romania, spend a week with him, and even for me that was like, like fire, because I never played overseas. I've been overseas. I might have played in open gyms and shit like that. I ran a camp for a week in overseas. I have experience with that, but I never really was on a high level or seen it. So me being there, I get to see like the structure, the discipline, the dynamics, the coaching, the plays they run. Like, bro, it was crazy. Like, I train Bryce, and then he'll work out with the team. They'll run practice, and they'll go hard. Then after that, they'll go in the weight room. And I was there in the finals. It was 1st to 3, I believe they do it over there. Yeah. I think it's like that. So I came. They already won 2 games. They just needed a 3rd game to win. So the 3rd game, and matter of fact, they was undefeated the whole season. So their 3rd game was at the other team's arena.
Home crib, right.
So we drove 2 hours there. So I got that experience being out there driving on the road and stuff like that.
Overseas crowds is different, bro.
Right. So the overseas crowd is definitely different. And Bryce and them played a really tough game, and they lost. Right. That was their first loss of the season and their first loss of the series. And right after the loss, they went in the weight room. Like, we had to wait for them. They was in the weight room for like an hour.
They said, nah.
You know what I mean? So that showed me a different, like, it's very important to make these kids that I train get stronger. So now I specialize. I mean, I've always done it, but now I'm really, like, more aware on doing it, where I make sure it's a part of the workout. Like, you got to work on your body every day. Like, I don't give a fuck if you sore, you're not in the mood. Bro, you got to do these push-ups. You got to do these pull-ups. You got to do these sprints. You got to do this every day. And, one of my workers, not worker, but one of my coaches, Jarrell Blassingame, who was a 16-year pro who played high level. He's from Brownsville.
Okay.
Big time point guard overseas. He is
on the brown skin cat?
Yeah, older dude. He's the oldest.
Yeah.
So
okay,
he came with that same mentality where he's like, yo, these kids got to work on their body every day. And I'm like, yo, I'm with the same shit. Like, I'm on that same type of timing. As long as we can make it work, find a window to make them do it, and we created a window. And now every time you come after your private session, you gotta work on your body. Got to. So yeah.
So we're gonna wind down a little bit. I know we've been here a minute, but these last couple questions should do the trick, right? So with these humble runs, with what you do, there's competition. I know there's competition in everything. What I do, there's other creators, there's other hoopers, whatever you want. There's always somebody competing. There's other runs happening. Why should high schoolers, young college kids, whatever you want to call it, why should they come to Justin for mentorship, training on their game, working on their game, fine tuning? Why should they come to you for as a mentor, as a man, or adult figure? Because I know you're not just boys, or you're not just, you do both boys and girls. So why should young people go to you for their careers and futures?
I really feel like my personality, my character, I'm not a yes man, so I feel like a lot of kids are delusional because of the atmosphere that they resign in. Like the coaches, the grown men that's chasing behind kids, that's gassing them. I feel like when you come to me, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, if you reclass and you're not dominant, I'm gonna call you out. Fuck you reclass for? You had 15 points. You could have stayed in the same grade you was in. You scoring 15, bro. Like, if you're gonna reclass, you better kill. Like, I'm that person, right? And I'm gonna tell you in your face. If you got homeschool and you can't make a jump shot, I'm gonna clown you. How the fuck you got homeschool? You can't shoot. You got nothing but time to work on your jump shot. You have homeschool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that person, and it's from love. It ain't from abuse. It's from love. Like I said, I'm not a yes man, so I feel like I'm a straight shooter. So a lot of the kids and youth especially need people that's going to be straight shooters with them, that's going to be honest with them, that's going to guide them to do the right things, help them pick the right schools and stuff like that, because I care. I don't want you to just do anything, you know what I mean, and hurt yourself or waste your time in this program because all they teach is trap and press, run and gun. Yeah. And when you go to college, you play 4 years like that, but you go to college, you don't know how to run a team.
You don't know how to run a set.
When they got a kid, you're 5'9" and you killed in your high school, but when you go to college, you 5'9", you got to pass the ball to the kids at 6'6", who got the best jump shot in the country. Word. You know what I'm saying? So you don't learn how to play the game the right way or make the right reads or have certain dynamics where I do all of those. I cover all the grounds. I watch film with my kids. I go to my kids' games. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just their trainer. You know, I go to the game. I pop out. I watch you struggle. I curse you out after the game. We get back in the lab when we work on it. I applaud you when you do it's good. But if you do something that I know you can do, I don't give you credit. Because it's like, why the fuck would I give you credit for doing something you're supposed to do? But if you rebounding as a small guard, if you got some charges, if you made a couple teammates better, if you showed like you singly handled the game, I'm going to give you your flowers. But if you scored 30 and you a 30-point scorer, I give you no credit. I'm like, yeah, your shit was hitting today, but you didn't do this. You ain't played D on him, though. Why you guard him? He number 5 in the country. Why you guarding him? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to call you out just to always try to make you better. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's the reason why kids should definitely be around me because, you know, and also I'm professional. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming to your session smelling like a pound of weed. I'm not coming late. I'm not, you know, vulgar at the mouth and treating you like some person off the street. I'm professional as well, you know, but I'm stern, but I'm very family orientated because I'm a father. So I know how to approach kids and connect with them in a certain way. And a lot of kids need that because some people are not as polished. You know what I mean? In the field. They still got bad habits and they bringing it into their field and it's rubbing off on the kids. And sometimes kids don't need to be exposed to that.
So, so someone that's been a part of your journey for these past couple of years, few years actually, as they've risen, you have also risen in the ranks, both respective industries. Melo Films, a very respected content creator. I don't even want to put that name on him because he's a man that he does a lot.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, he really can do a lot, and I just want you to, yo, he could do a lot for real. So I just want to give you the time to highlight that man, talk about that man, because he's been with you as you've grown this humble name, and you've also been better as a man.
Yeah, Melo, definitely. Like I said, man, that's my boy. That's my little brother. Pain in my ass at times, but it's all love, of course. He's probably one of the closest people to me in the industry. Actually, like, spending the night at my house. We travel together. We've been on planes together. You know what I mean? We talk about life shit. But outside of that, that bond definitely makes our chemistry even better because we share that off the court. And, yeah, he's somebody I need. He's somebody I needed and somebody I need. And I don't know if it's the same for me, for him, but definitely I had a vision a couple years ago that I needed a videographer who can be consistent and record some of my trainings and stuff like that, because I feel like I needed to publicize more of my work to get it out there so people could start booking and doing, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
And I had a vision that it was going to be Brian Alexandra. Me and Brian is very close as well. He just has a lot of stuff outside of filming that's going on in his life, so it didn't mesh that way. But, you know, Melo came about, and I met him at AOD, the New Balance gym. He came in there with Scotty. I was training Scotty Lee, and he was doing like a day in the life of certain plays around the city, trying to also promote his brand. And we met there, and we kind of like hit it off, and you know, everything was like a revolving door in terms of the Banneker situation, because he also attended Banneker.
Facts.
My fiance also attended Banneker as
word?
well. Yeah, it's crazy. So many people that went to Banneker that I'm like close with now.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Or, you know, in the past dealt with as well in terms of crossing paths with them and stuff like that. So yeah, Melo came about, and he's just like a genius, and he has he's very tech savvy. He's very creative as well as I am. You know, sometimes we rub off on each other. Sometimes I could say some dumb shit, and he'd be like, nah, I'm not doing that. Or he'll say some shit, and I'm like, that shit is whack.
Sounds about
We
Melo
do the
for
same
real.
thing to each other. Most of the time, he got more good ideas than me, but sometimes I be having some fire ideas, and he's like, nah, that's fire. We definitely got to do that. And, yeah, I think we both visionaries, and, you know, us collaborating, because that's what we're doing.
Yep.
Us collaborating has definitely increased both of our brands. You know what I mean? And him doing things with me and people getting an eye on his work, or me introducing him to people, because I introduce him to everybody that's big. I never introduce him to somebody that's like, everybody that's around me that's big, that owns some shit, or that can help him. I always introduce him to them. That's just how I am. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So this is a question I've asked guys that are technically part of your generation. When you see, I feel like I've asked you this already. If I asked you this, I'm sorry. But how the game was played when you were in high school, coming up, compared to what it is right now, what are the things you don't like about today's game, and then a couple things that you do like about today's game that are paving the game forward?
You didn't ask me this question, and I feel like the difference between today and when I was growing up is the fact that playing up is a lost art.
Oof.
Playing in the park is a lost art, because if you go around now, the parks are empty, and the mental toughness that we had as players is missing as well. Now, what I do like about today's game is how skilled the players are. Like, there's 7-year-old kids that's doing some crazy,
And now behind the back. cross.
skill set today is beyond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes it can be too much, because trainers really like drill the over dribbling. They don't really polish the other things with the simplicity.
Yep.
So sometimes kids are overdoing it, and they may look bad doing it. So that's the only thing I would say I don't like and I do like about today's generation. The skill set is amazing. The creativity is amazing. The athleticism, the layup package, the techniques on floaters, left hand, right hand, like the scoop layups, the underhand, inside hand layups, like all these things, jumping off the wrong foot, quick jumps so the shot blocker can't time your layup. Like, all these things that are happening now is just the evolution of the game. And I'm excited to, you know, be a part of it, and also add, like I said, my new school, old school teaching point styles to it. But those are the things I feel like is missing. I feel like the mental toughness, going out there in the park, playing with your friends, or your peers and playing up. Nowadays, everything is playing down. Every kid is reclassifying. Every kid is trying to be Instagram famous, trying to get a made hoops or EYBL write up or something like that. 3SB. Everybody's trying to be a superstar early without going through the emotion, the grind, the grit, the trenches. You know what I mean? So I feel like those aspects are missing in today's basketball.
3 kids that impressed you this past high school season. Go.
Of course, Deron Rippey Jr.
Shout out Rippey though. He really went stupid.
Chris Jeffries.
Villanova commit.
And if I would say one more kid that impressed me in high school, Cayenne. I'll put Cayenne in, not just because I trained him, just because Cayenne had a real slow start. He wasn't always good.
Yeah, Shake Hoop said that last time.
He know how to play though.
Yeah.
Like Cayenne was a player where he ain't gonna do some shit he know he can't do. He gonna make the right pass. He knew he lacked the ability. He wasn't fast, so he wasn't trying to do some crazy shit. He was really playing smart. And I feel like because he was almost a late bloomer, when he hit that growth spurt and he hit puberty, his game started changing. He started getting stronger and stuff like that. So definitely seeing what he has become today, how tall he got, and how polished he became in terms of his footwork and his details. And, you know, he still got a lot of room for improvement. You know, they all do, but especially him because of the physical aspect, right? Not the mental, because I feel like he's always been a tough kid. Like when I coached him, if we was about to fight, he was the first kid off the bench ready to fight. I swear I'm not even saying it because I'm on here. That's some real shit. Like that was Cayenne. Cayenne was that person, and he always was famous.
The first time I met Cayenne was when I think was his first year on Lou High. I think he wasn't playing because he transferred later. Whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, he came from CTK.
Yeah, so I remember going to the States. It was Stepanak versus Lou High 2023 States when they were still doing the States in like upstate somewhere in Albany. I went there. Lou High is winning. Jaden Reed is going crazy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm next to the Lou High bench, Cayenne in a full tech suit. I don't know Cayenne out nowhere. Like, I know who he is, but like you said, I'm not no starstruck kind of guy. So I know who you are, but I'm still a regular person. He looks at me when up with my camera in my hand. He goes, "Yo, bro, if I was out there, bro, I'll be killing these boys, bro.
That's
tween, left, right. Come on, bro, I got the package."
He got his father's personality.
I looked at him. I'm just like, "Yo, you a funny cat, bro."
That's how he is. That's how his father is. His father is super big clown, love having fun. They talk so much trash. Great guys, but yeah, those 3 for sure. You know, they are humble products. Cayenne, #1 player in New York City. Christian Jeffries, Player of the Year. Deron Rippey, Gatorade Player of the Year. And they all came from my hands. So it's only right that I picked those 3.
Right. All right. Cool. PSAL versus Catholic.
Catholic.
Why?
Structure, balance, coaching, IQ, poise, patient, pace, execution.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why.
So this is the part of the pod where if you have something on your chest, this is where you have your 5 seconds, your 30 seconds, your 5 minutes, however long you want. This is your camera. Just look into the camera, say what you got to say, whatever's on your mind. I don't got no questions. This is whatever's on Justin Bright's mind. You can go right ahead and say your piece.
I don't even know where to start, man. I really don't have a lot on my mind in terms of like what to say to you guys out there, but hopefully this interview can turn things around. You guys can follow Sway and give him some more support. Build his platform, his YouTube followers, and hopefully he could earn some money off of this, what he's doing. He's a great guy doing this. Also, for me, I would just love the recognition and have the opportunity to help more kids, teach more kids and do more things, because the more people that come to me, the more I can help. Brands could offer me things. If I have an increase in following, if I have an increase on clients, I may start getting things from brands. I could help more people. I may get some more coaches that want to tap in with me. I can help kids get into prep schools. I can help kids get into JUCOs. I can help kids get into 4-year colleges. Shit, I can even help kids go pro if more people buy into me, because I'm that type of person, right? I'm going to help who needs to be helped and who has earned it. So yeah, tap in with us. Follow us. Try to support us. Spread the word as best as you can, and let's just help make New York City great again. That's it.
Make New York City great again. I was gonna end that way, but I don't know if he wants this announcement made. Remember the thing you told me?
Nah.
Yo, we ain't putting that out there. The.
Nah.
Yeah, we not putting that out there.
Nah.
Just know there's bigger things coming for Humble Development.
Everybody wins right now, and we will win later. Sometimes you gotta let them go first.
All right, that's why I didn't want to say it. I
Yeah.
had to. I like that we keeping that in the tuck.
Nah.
Say no more.
I don't talk about nothing.
We gotta speak on it.
Yeah.
We gonna let God work on what He gotta do, and
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying, put His little magic on there.
Right.
Gonna be
So
good.
all these runs that's happening right now and all that stuff, it's gonna be a whole nother different thing.
You see, I'll turn. It's fine.
Right.
Just know we still here.
Right.
And the people still know who run the city, right?
It's about to be on steroids. So listen, I'm blessed and fortunate enough to experience what I expressed tonight, and being around all these type of players and people and playing against these players from the pro city to starting the humble runs in 2018 when it was just a middle school thing. I created it for Cayenne and them, and boys and girls, to my own middle school league and interacting with pros and just these different dynamics of my life. I'm blessed for that, and anything that comes after that is just a add on to the testimony and to the story. So, I'm never gonna be that person to brag or boast about what I got going on, because there's always somebody who got something better. You know what I mean? So, like my boy J. Cole said, love yours.
Love yours.
That's it.
I was gonna ask him what's the lesson you learned, but clearly that's the lesson. Love yours.
You gotta love yours, bro.
Oh man.
Don't be jealous because somebody's training a kid that you used to train.
Yes, sir.
Don't be jealous because he got more clients than you. Don't be jealous. Like, find your purpose, master your craft, and those that come. There's some streets with 3 churches on the same block.
That's a fact.
There's
3
people
Chinese
that goes
stores. Yep.
right. You know what I'm saying? So, that's it. And if there's one thing I could say about ranting that is a pet peeve for me in training, is like the entitledness,
of the player.
Yes, the entitledness of a player is kind of like a turn off for me, because it's like you could help a kid for free for a couple years, and it's like, okay, now you're 24 years old. I'm not training you for free no more. Like, and you don't have to give me $100, right? But I'm telling you as a man and teaching you some responsibility, and say, hey, you're gonna have to start paying now. You're grown. You in college. You got money now. You live with your girl. Like, bro, like, you can participate and give me $20
support,
$40.
Yeah,
I'm waking up to leave my house in Jersey to train with you and stuff like that. And I've trained you for years for free. So there should be something in your heart to say, you know what, this is my guy.
Let me hold him down.
He held me down for all this time. I can hold him down. Because honestly speaking, how much are you going to train with me? Because once school starts, I'm never going to see you again.
That's a fact.
So you literally going to train with me a little bit of time. So that part. And people always saying like, yo, you don't call me to come work out. And I always tell them, like, do you call your barber to get a haircut?
That's a fact.
Or do your barber call you? Do your barber say, yo, pull up, boy, the chair's empty? No, he doesn't. I'm not going to call you and say, pull up, the gym is empty. If you want a haircut, you call your barber and you set an appointment. It's just like with training. If you want to work with me, you got to call me. I'm not calling you.
That might be the title of the video. You call your barber, your
come
barber
on, bro.
call
Like,
you.
So, yeah, those two things as a trainer
that's tough.
are a pet peeve for me, because it's like the entitlement. And it's always players, too, that's full of themselves and that's really not even at that level. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, be humble, show some appreciation, show some gratitude. There's people in your life that care about you, that want to help you, that have been helping you. You know what I'm saying? Like, show some love. You feel me? And there's players that I've trained for free, and I'll run into them years from now in the street. I had situations where I trained a player for like 2 years. He finally went overseas. I ran into him. He pulled his wallet out and gave me $500, bro, on the spot. Swear to God, just offer appreciation.
He said, "Oh nah, yeah."
And it wasn't
Or-
about the money, bro.
Yeah.
Because
It
obviously
just the
I'm
love.
alright. But
Yeah.
it was like to show the gratitude, like, yo, bro, you held me down. Here, bro. Good looking. And that is, you know what I mean? That's rewarding, that's fulfilling, that's a good feeling to know that people are like that.
Mhm.
But there's so many people that's like, they try to pay you in sneakers. They try to do so much off the wall wacky shit, like bro, buy you a bottle. Like, bro, what? No, bro, I'm not. I need 5 children. I have staff. Like, bro, like I'm trying to run a business.
yeah.
Cause you'll go to Louis and buy a outfit head to toe. You'll buy I don't know if we could get crazy on here. You'll buy Eighth and all that.
Hey,
like
a piece, man.
Come on, you'll
Word.
buy refill hookahs 40 cash. You'll do all these other things. But when I come and say, hey, here's a healthy investment, bro.
Holla at me.
You know what I mean? I got you. Or even as a kid, the more you invest in yourself, the better your future, because it's like I'm technically helping you get a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're paying me right now to train you, the end goal is to go to college for free.
Mm-hmm.
I just took away the tuition, bro. You don't have a tuition now because of me, because I helped train you and prepped you.
Mm-hmm.
And tuitions, as we know, big name schools are very expensive.
Yo.
So sometimes take your hats off to these trainers that have been doing these things for so many years and that's been paving the way and actually changing people's lives. This shit is universal. Basketball is shaped like a globe for a reason.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just feel like people need to wake up. And that's what I should have did on my rant. But
Hey,
definitely.
we got it all.
Yeah.
Look, man,
sure.
Sway reporting live. Justin Bright, Humble Development, one-on-one sit-downs. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you learned something about this man and what he wants to do in life. And I hope if you're a parent watching this with a young kid that wants to hoop, I think you have your answer at this point. If you're a high school hooper watching this and you haven't tapped in, I think you have your answer.
Yeah.
If you're a college kid or a college guy, pro guy, woman, girl, whatever, and you're looking for somebody to fine tune you, I think you have the answer. You're here for a reason. So at this point, Justin, I appreciate you.
Nah, you already know.
For blessing my
You already
platform
know.
with all of this knowledge.
Nah. One thing before we go, I like to leave a gem with the people is don't do anything normal.
Mm.
Don't do nothing normal. If you want to be successful, if you want to be major, you got to do the uncomfortable, and you can't be normal. Don't make 200 shots, make 500. Don't
Look right there.
right? Don't make 200 shots, make 500. If you're a reporter, constantly work on your craft, study, do little video things. If you're a dancer, more hours in the dance studio. If you're a rapper, whatever it is that you love to do, that your purpose is, don't do it normal, because you have a gift, and the only way to reach your full potential in your gift is you can't do it normal. You got to do things where people are mind-boggled. Like, what? He did that? Take risks, take chances, and, walk with faith, and the rest is history.
I don't even got to say no more, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. This is probably my longest episode ever, but it actually has everything you need. So I hope you sat down and enjoyed it. And on that note, so we're putting live one-on-one sit-downs. We out of here.